Hello everyone. In this video we will learn about the animal tissues. This is your chapter number 10, animal tissues. You can see in this picture there is so many tissues are present. Okay, so why these tissues present in our body? That is a very important question. So let's learn about that. In this picture you can see there is this variety of animals are present. Okay, animals, as you can see on your surrounding, a lot of variety of them comes into your mind, right? Starting from a small bacteria to small insect to huge animals like elephants, even we human beings, cat, dogs, so many aquatic fishes, everything come to your mind when we think of animals. So now in this lesson we will learn about, we will talk about the internal structure of animals. When you can see in this picture there is a huge animals. So animals is about this variety of diversity of animals. We will learn about the another chapter. Okay, diversity or different type of animal, kingdom animalia. In this lesson we have to be learn about the internal structure of these animal. Okay, why these tissues are present, obviously internal inside of the body. To understand the internal structure we need to have a through understanding on the composition or the basic composition of animals. Okay, now what is the basic building blocks? I hope you know about that. What is the basic building block of the animals? Okay, that is nothing but that is the cell, right? So we have to be learn about the cell. Okay, so when we talking about the cell, so that's in your previous classes you already know about the cells, right? Which type of cells? Okay, you know about the cell, that is the basic building block. Okay, when we talking about the cell there is a two type of cell. Which type? Two type of cell, uh, that is the in multicellular animals, and that is the next one is unicellular animals. Okay, prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells, these all words are familiar. You are familiar with the your previous classes, right? So these cells group together to form the animal tissues, right? So before that you have to be know about the some basic important thing about the cell. That is cell is two type. In a multicellular organism cells are classified it into two types. Something that is the first type is, I am writing here, see that there is first type of cell is somatic cell. Okay, what? Somatic. Okay, that is the somatic cell. And second type is germ cell. Okay, there is a two type of cell. This is the second type and first type is somatic. Okay, what is the meaning of these two type of cell, somatic cells and germ cell? As the name, the somatic cell is all body cells except of sperm and ova, are all cells as somatic cell. Means in your body all cells, your hand cells, your mouth cells, your all body cells, they are the somatic cell. Only two are germ cell because it having the capacity of germination to form the new organism. Okay, so this is the second type. So what is the definition of germ cell? The sperm and ova are known as germ cell. They are related to reproductive system, right? So this is the basic concept of the cell it's important, you have to be know. So let's move on the next. In next slide you can see here what are the tissues. Okay, what are the tissues? It is very important, you have to be know about that. A group of cells are similar in structure or work together to achieve a specific function. Okay, as written here, this is the two type of tissues you can see on your screen. That is, the first type is lung tissue and second is plant tissue. Lung tissue means that is the animal tissue, and here the plant tissue. Okay, so this is the type of sclerenchymatous tissue. Sclerenchymatous tissue means this is the special type of tissues present in a plant that provide plant to the rigidity. Okay, rigidity and strength providing cell in a plant. Okay, you already study about that in your plant tissue chapter, right? So here we are talking about the tissues. So there is two example of tissues. Okay, so it is nothing but a group of cells that are similar in structure or work together to achieve a specific function. So their main agenda is this: they work together to achieve a common function. So some cells, I mean, if there are 100 cells in your body, some 10 cells group together to perform a one function, right? Some 20 cells group together perform a second function. Again, the 30 cells group together perform a third function. So that's why these all cells are grouped together. Okay, grouping of cells to perform a common function is then each such a group is known as a tissues. Right? Now, when we talk about these, so here you can see the example of these tissues on the screen. The left hand side you can see the lung tissue. Okay, I am talking about these tissue. Okay, this is the lung tissue, right? And this, so here the what is our concept? What is our concept? The concept is tissue. Cells group together to form a tissue. Okay, here the lung. What is the lung? That is the organ. Okay, that is the part of respiratory system. You know about that. You are 11th standard student. You know about the respiratory system. So now here talking about the tissue. Okay, lung tissue. So tissues, our lungs, they are made up of cells. And inside the lungs, the cells group together to perform some specific function. So these how they look like under the microscope here. Okay, these cells, different cells are grouped together form the lung tissue, right? And then the right hand side you can see the plantar tissue, this one. Okay, I'm talking about this, right? So this is what, this is cell grouped together to form a tissue. Obviously there these cell, this is all different cells, they are grouping together and form the for the special type of function. Why these cells are grouped together? This is important to perform a specific task, perform the specific function. Okay, this is the sclerenchymatous tissue. So the function of sclerenchymatous tissue is is providing the strength of plant. Okay, and rigidity is providing by these tissues. Okay, so next one is you have to be learn about that this. Okay, level of organization. Why this level of organization is required? Okay, why this level of organization is required. I hope you have seen on a screen there is a something cell, tissues, organ system and organism. Why it is required? The cell. Okay, this is this. This is cell. Okay, this is simple animal cell, right? These cells are grouped together to form the next level of, okay, what is the next level? This is the next level is tissues, right? So special type of cells that have performing the special function. This is the lung tissue, already I have shown in previous slide, right? So this is the lung tissues and performing what is the function of lungs? For the respiration, right? So for the function of respiration, these cells are grouped together, right? So next one is, when the next level we have seen, there is the organ. Okay, what organ? Here you can see this is the organ. Which organ this is? This is nothing but that is the lungs, right? There is a, this is cell, this is cell, this is tissue, and this one is lungs. So organization level is increasing, cells group together to form a tissues are grouped together to form a particular organ. When these organs are grouped together, okay, here the organ grouped together to form the organ system. Okay, which system? Here in the screen you can see which type of system. I hope you know about that. This is the respiratory system. When you're talking about the respiratory system, there is a system. We are talking about the system. So there is the arrangement of different organ. Which organ? You can see on the screen here, the bronchial, okay, bronchus. From this beginning, when we see here, that is the mouth, okay, nose is present, then next one is trachea, then the next one is tracheoles, okay, bronchi, bronchioles. These are the respiratory organs. When I tell the different name, what name? Nose is an organ, trachea is an organ, lungs is an organ, right? So these are the different organs are grouped together to perform a function. Which function? Their respiration. Okay, so this is the function of, that is the need of your body, right? So these group together to form a organ system, right? So the next one is here the organ system. When this organ system, these all organ system are grouped together to form a particular organism, okay, multicellular organism. How? You know about that, you have listened about that, for working to your body. In your body there is a 9 type of system, okay, which system? Commonly you know about the name of that in your inside your body. Circulatory system present, digestive system present, okay, nervous system is present. So there is so many different type of system are present in your body to perform a particular function. Nervous system for the control coordination, right? Circulatory system for the circulation of blood to transport the all minerals to every cells, right? Digestive system, the to digest the food and giving the nutrition in your body, right? Excretory system, the toxicity inside of your body from after the metabolic activity is required to remove from your body, right? So this is the very important task that present inside of your body to keep live you. Okay, so there is the requirement of different system. When these all system group together to form a particular organism, right? This is the level of organization, right? So the next level we have studied here, there is the word histology. Okay, what is the word? Here we can see this is the word histology. What is the meaning of this? The study of the structure and arrangement of tissues is called histology. This is the branch of biology, right? This branch of biology study about all the type of tissues, where these are present, where that arrange. Okay, this everything when you study about this animal tissue in 11th standard as a chapter number 10. Why? With the help of this histology. Okay, if this branch will be not present, we will not study about that, right? So this is the branch. This is important for your examination to how can we know about how can we study the tissue. If you are interested about the all tissues that present inside your body, lung tissue, nerve tissue and all in a detail, internally fully detailed, so which branch you have to be choose for the MSc, that is the histology, right? So this is the common information, right? Next, move on the next slide. Here, it's very important, types of animal tissues. I hope you understand about the tissues. Okay, cells are grouped together to perform a particular function. When these cells are grouping together, which type of cell? Similar cell. This is very important point, you have to be note down this. Similar type of cells are grouped together to perform a particular function. This is tissue, right? So when we talking about the animal tissue, so there is the group of tissues that perform a particular function inside of your body. Okay, as before we were talking about the different system, 9 type of system present inside your body. Okay, so every system performing a special type of task. How they can? Because they having the special type of tissues, right? So that's why in this slide we will learn about the tissues. Epithelial, the first type of tissue is a epithelial tissue. Okay, epithelial. Second is connective tissue, next one is muscular tissues, next one is nerves tissue. Okay, note down the all word proper spelling: epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscular tissues and the nerve tissues, right? So why these all tissues required inside your body? Okay, why these all things are required? Just I'm giving the simple example to you. If I give you a particular task to make a robot or make a particular model, so what is the first need to you? A raw material. Okay, with the help of this raw material you preparing a particular different type of organs, right? How, which type of organs is required? Okay, which type of organ? Because in previous slide you have seen here. Okay, cells group together. Okay, cells are grouped together, then form a tissues, organ and organ system, right? So here when I am giving a task, so what is the first requirement to making a particular model or robot? That should be, it's very important, working model, right? So when that beginning task, what you prepared for the model? The internal structure, you are preparing a different organ. You prepared the kidneys, you have prepared the lungs, mouth and all organs. For preparing this organ you require the raw material. Okay, what is that raw material? That is nothing but that is the epithelial tissue. Okay, why this special tissue is present? Because this material having the protect by covering, secretion and absorption. Okay, this tissue having the speciality. Okay, when we talking about the model, so require, if you are giving the cotton, so cotton is a special, so you are using this cotton as a making the different organ to perform showing, right? So inside our body there is a special type of tissue to making this all organs. Okay, if blood capillary is also made up by the epithelial tissue, because blood is capillaries absorb something from nutrition from the digestive system, and this nutrition is transported with the blood. Okay, all cells absorb this. Okay, this is the common task. Okay, so epithelial tissues for the preparing that, when your all organs is ready, okay, you prepare the kidney, you prepare the lungs, all. So what is the next requirement? To attach all the organs. Okay, so attachment, for attachment what required? The connective. Okay, to connect the all organs. So building support, okay, building support transport, we need a connective tissue. Okay, for the your model, what you are using that, to adding the cotton, some thread you are using, and some glues you will be used for that model, right? So inside our body there is a connective tissue to arrange that properly your organ. Okay, so connection for the connective tissue. Okay, connective tissue for the connection, right? And the next task, when you connected that, you can stand your model. The next task, you have to be provide the movement of your model. So for the movement, which type of material you have to be required? You are using something elastic, rubber type material, right? So inside our body, what that rubber type of model? That is the muscular tissue. Okay, so muscular tissues with the help of, because this tissue having the elasticity. Okay, so elastic stretching capacity present in muscular tissue, that's why it is present. So movement and locomotion is provided with the help of muscular tissue. Okay, if remove that, you will be just like uh, trees. Okay, in trees there is an, in plants there is no muscular tissue, that's why that they're having the proper static position. So for providing the movement, what require? Muscular tissue. Okay, next one is nerve tissue. When your model is ready and that working something started, so there is a requirement of control and coordination. All organs are situated in the side of body, so it's required the communication. Okay, for that the nervous system is present, right? I hope you understand the all type of tissues, why these all different types of tissues required inside the animal to performing a proper particular organism. Okay, so these all different types of tissues are required. Okay, in our next lecture we will learn about the proper this different type of tissues one by one, and it having the also the different subtypes also. Okay, so first we will, in this lecture first we will learn about the epithelial tissue, right? Okay, so first type is epithelial tissues, as we understand. Okay, so what are the epithelial tissue? Okay, why giving the name of epithelial? Epi means what? Above. Thelial word means grow. Means that growing in upper side of our body. Okay, upper level, every organ. When you draw the kidney, okay, you draw the kidney. So this drawing, green color drawing, that is made up by the epithelial tissue, right? So that's why the epi means above, thelial means grow. These cells grow in above every organ. The first layer is, what is the first layer? That is the epithelial tissue. Okay, the next function is protective tissue, right? Protective tissue, obviously, that is present above. Okay, so when it's present above, so what is it having? The protection. Which type of protection? For the one organ to another organ. Okay, for the outsiders it's required the protection. Okay, so every protection is provided by this tissue. Okay, different type of protection is given by this tissue. The next point is covering of external surface organ and cavities in body. Okay, covering of external surface. Okay, every organ having the surface, so covering of that surface, if you talking about the heart, okay, heart is also covered with the pericardium, right? So this covering is made up by the epithelial tissue. Okay, all cavities present inside our body, there is so many cavities. Okay, so these cavities also covered with that. Why this covering is required? Why this covering is required, I hope you know about that. For example, in your home, okay, at your home there is a different boundaries are present. Okay, there is a, every room are separate, so room are separate. Why this separation required? A particular separation, or if in your ground, okay, everywhere there is a wall is present. Why this wall? To separate everywhere. Okay, to separate. Why? With the from which there is a so many enemies are present in the environment, so that will be attacked to you. That's why your boundary is present, right? So different boundaries keeping different body systems separate. As I say now, in and inside the body, they can act as a covering of different organs. So they are basically keeping the different things separate, so that they do not get mixed up with each other, right? The next point, number of what are they are made up of are nothing but closely packed cell forming a continuous sheet. So closely packed cell. Okay, here this one, closely packed cell forming a continuous sheet. Closely packed, you can see on the this picture, there is the cell. This is the epithelial cell. All cells are closely packed. Okay, why this close packing is required? You really don't find a lot of cellular space or a lot of intracellular material in case of epithelial tissue. Okay, why is it so closely packed? So that is a question that might be arise in your mind, right? So now, if they want to act as a covering to something, way to they need to be closely packed, right? If they are not closely packed, so it there is a leakage between two cells, right? In the epithelial tissue, what will happen means the boundary will be leaky. It is like that you will be build a heavy. Okay, why do not put the boundaries around our house? For the safety, right? So here these closely packed continuous sheet is forming. Okay, so means here these cells are closely packed. Okay, if this is the cells or this is the boundary of, this is the kidney. Okay, above the kidney there is the our lungs is present. Okay, the next organ, lungs having the different function and kidney having the different function. Both are having different. Kidney performing the excretory, performing the function to excrete toxic material from our body. If kidney cells are not closely packed, so all material inside of the kidney that come out. Okay, and that effect to our lungs, and lungs is some near of heart, so this also affected. So means here the all organs are affected. Okay, so that's why that is very important. This epithelial tissue should be continuous and closely packed sheet, right? The next point is here, no blood vessels within this tissue. Okay, why this blood tissues are not present? I hope you understand that why these cells are not having the blood cells, because these are the closely packed. Okay, and the speciality of this, that is a protective tissue. Okay, that's why they're having the proper closely packed. So these cells, what is the you know about the blood cells? Okay, blood vessels. What is the function of these blood vessels? Okay, blood vessels for the transportation of blood. Okay, okay. So blood, so that is present in vessels. Okay, inside the blood, what present? There is so many minerals are present, right? So the question is that these epithelial tissues, why not having the blood vessels? Okay, is it there is a no requirement of these nutritions? There is a question, right? Oh, so it's required the all minerals, but it having the capacity of absorption. Okay, with the absorption, that absorb the all mineral from blood, right? How? uh, if blood vessels, here I am drawing the vessel. Okay, so this green color structure actually made up of the cell. Okay, which cell? This is also nothing but epithelial cell, right? So inside blood, okay, the inside presence of blood, so these blood is come out. Okay, how? That is come out with the help of the process. What is the process? That is the absorption. Absorption nothing but how this absorption is completed, because concentration of blood is increases and outside of cells, that is the decreases. If requirement of oxygen, so O2, when the cell having the less amount of oxygen, so it's required the oxygen. And blood, there is a continuous oxygen supply. Okay, so that is filled with the full of oxygen. So there is a concentration level is a different. Okay, so high concentration to low concentration, that called the absorption. Okay, simple thing, that is the osmosis process, osmosis and diffusion, right? So this is the chemical formula. So that's why these cells having the capacity of osmosis and diffusion, so there is a no requirement of any blood cells within it, right? I hope you understand the all concept. Okay, epithelial tissue, why this is called the epithelial tissue? This is the above growth. Okay, protective, obviously it's required the protection for the all organs covering the external surface, that is the next specialty of this cell. Act the boundaries, keeping the different body systems separate. It is very important because the lungs should be separate, and the kidney should be separate. Okay, these separation is done with the help of these epithelial tissues, closely packed cell forming the continuous sheet. So closely packed the cell. Okay, this structure you can see there is a properly continuous sheet forming with the help of this arrangement, right? And no blood vessels are present within this, right? So let's move on the next slide. There, here you can see the structure of epithelial tissue. Okay, what is the structure of the, here you can see here the connective tissue. Obviously before that I told you about the connective tissue. Okay, connective means connection of different organ. So these, if this is the some half part of the stomach. Okay, so this is the, if there is the stomach, and this is the some tissues of stomach. Okay, which tissue? That is the epithelial tissue, right? So there is a connective tissue that connect to the different stomach, connected with the intestine. So there is a requirement of connective tissue. That's why here the road connective tissue. Okay, so you have to be concentrate on this. Okay, so one by one we will study. No very less intracellular space. No or very less. Okay, what is the meaning of this intracellular space? One cell. Okay, if this type of cell or this type of columnar cell, square cell, okay, when these are arranged, okay, when these are arrangement, obviously we are talking about the tissue. So one cell and then another cell and another cell, these cells get together, okay, arranged properly to form a tissue. Okay, so when these are arranging, there is some extracellular gap, right? Somewhat here you can see there is the gap, okay, between one cell to another. This is the one cell, two cell, it having some gap. Okay, when these gap called the intracellular or intercellular space, right? So here in this picture you can see there is a no intracellular space present. Okay, in a previous slide already study about that. If intracellular space will be present, so that it will be become a leaky. Okay, if leaky, so some excretory product or some other organ products will be leaked from that organ. Okay, and this damage, this leaky substance may be toxic, and this disturb to other organ system, right? So that's why this compact structure is required. Okay, so that's why there is a no intracellular space, right? The next point is one surface is free, other is a basal surface attached to the basement membrane. Okay, here this structure, okay, this structure, this basement membrane, obviously this basement membrane, why this basement is required? Obviously when you see the particular building build up, okay, when you see the buildings in a primary stage, there is a basement will present. Okay, in this basement, what is the cement basement, concrete basement they are preparing. Okay, after that the partition is completed with the bricks, right? So here also for the preparing that, the basement membrane is available, okay, attached to basement membrane. Next one is the extracellular fibrous basement membrane separate epithelial from underlining tissues. Okay, underlining tissues means one basement membrane separate to the another basement membrane. Okay, so means one organ having this basement, so next organ also having the basement. So with the help of this basement membrane, the all organ or all tissues are separate to each other, right? I hope you understand. Okay, here in this slide you can see the structure where do find epithelial tissue, where you can see the epithelial tissue. Okay, so here the lining of mouth, there is epithelial tissue present, skin, lung, alveoli, lining of blood vessels, okay, kidney, tubules, there is so many organs inside your body, there everywhere this epithelial tissues is present. Why this is important, why I am considering this point in your lecture? It is very important for your examination, for MCQs. If you are giving the competitive exam, this is very important, where the epithelial tissues are found. Okay, so the next point is epithelial tissues is the lining of mouth tissue and the skin epithelial tissue. Mouth, okay, and the skin, is the both tissues are same? Okay, you know, I hope you understand, both are not the same. Mouth is some secretion is present, and skin some dryness is present, okay, and some more protective. Lungs alveoli more than absorber, okay, and lining of blood vessels, there is a process of osmosis diffusion is completed. Kidney tubule obviously excretory product is formed. So all these system, there is a different epithelial tissue. Everything is made up by, every organ is made up by the epithelial tissue, but all epithelial tissues are different. Okay, some secretory, some protective, right, some glandular, some secretion of hormone. Okay, so many functions performed by this epithelial tissue. So let's learn about this function of epithelial tissue. Okay, here, so protection, the underlying tissues and organ. I hope you understand, one organ are separate to another organ for the protection. Second function is regulate exchange of material between the body, external environment, and also between the different parts of body. This is the second most important question, most important function of this epithelial tissue. Regulate the exchange of material between the body. Which type of exchanging of material? There is the obviously blood is a transportation of different of mineral. So in blood lining, okay, blood lining to different cell, there is a requirement of exchanging of material, okay, that also regulate with the help of these epithelial tissues. Okay, and then next, the external environment and also between the different parts of body. So everywhere that material will be exchanged with the help of epithelial tissue. So every arrangement, okay, and all regulation is done with the help of epithelial tissue. Okay, when we discuss about in detail the types of epithelial tissue, you properly understand what actually happen, how can this happen. Okay, the second thing, absorption of food. As you know, in the ninth standard, you already learn about the digestive system. In digestive system, small intestine, okay, when you see the small intestine, there is the alveoli are present. Okay, in this alveoli, what process, there is the blood vessels are present. Okay, so these blood vessels actually in the intestine, after the digestion of food, there is a formation of only the minerals are present in an intestine. Okay, so in the intestine, minerals are absorbed by the blood, right, and then transport to all over the body, right. So absorption of food and nutrients, how they can absorb from lining of small intestine to blood, how these minerals come out inside the blood, that is with the help of epithelial tissue.